Mm. Hey, mm. Hey. If you don't know this song, this is called Essence by Wizkid. Amazing song. Mm. Hey. Woo! Mm. I don't need no other body. Woo! That's good music right there. All right. Welcome everybody to All Virtual Lesson 17. Okay, we doing 200 videos straight. Lesson 17 today, we're talking about CEO risks versus rewards. This is a very controversial topic. I'm going to give you my honest take on it. Regardless if you agree with me, you might think a lot differently of me after this video. For those of you who are getting to know me, don't know what I went through personally, you might think a lot differently about me after this video, and I'm okay with that. My job is to be honest and transparent, not to be liked. So, in this video, we're going to talk exactly about the things I went through, the risks that I took. So then every business owner out there knows what type of risks you might encounter when you're starting your business, right? So let's start with the biggest one, right? So the big question everybody always has is why does the CEO get paid so much more than employees? Why is Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, why are all these guys making so much more money in proportion to the people actually doing the work from a day to day basis? You're not going to like the answer, some of you, but here's the honest truth. The truth is that whoever takes the most financial and emotional risk gets rewarded the most. And that's how it works in our world. Nothing is ever going to change that. That's the way our world works. And so when people say play the game, that's what they're referring to. That's the game. We all are in that matrix and we have the option of playing the game to win, right? Or we have the option of complaining and being upset, right? So, for those of you who are wanting to start a business, here's some of the things that you have to understand. Okay. The first thing is that it doesn't matter what you're buying, okay? It can't be good, fast, and cheap. Let me say that again. It doesn't matter what you're buying, it can't be good, fast, and cheap. And that's what people want. Most of the time, when people are arguing or upset or don't want to spend money to grow their business, it's because they want it to be good, fast, and cheap. And in our world, you can't have all three. You can only pick two, and there's consequences of picking whichever two you pick. And so once you understand that, you can operate on a frequency where you're okay with paying for good and fast, right? So if you want a service done really well and fast, that means you're going to have to cough up a lot of bread. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $100,000, right? So in my example, I wanted my marketing firm to scale fast, okay, and more so cheap, right? It's relative though, right? So, $50,000 at the time was more so cheap to me, right? And so that's why I decided ethical outsourcing was the best route for me. Some other people, right? They might have a VC backing their company, and so they decide that $250,000 is cheap or $1 million is cheap, right? Because maybe they got 10 million. So it's all relative. But the truth of the matter is, most CEOs, they're in the position I was, which is they do not have $100,000 laying around to pay two employees in the US, right? So you want to scale your company quickly on a cheaper budget, right? That's why ethical outsourcing is so powerful for entrepreneurs in our position. Now, there's trade offs to that, right? Internet outages in the Philippines, quality work not being quite as high, other things, right? And so those are the trade offs you're willing to make, right? Because you chose those two options. So the reason I'm being really transparent and honest with you about this is because I wish someone would have just told me what it was, right? So you can set your expectations appropriately. Once you understand those three elements to buying anything in the world, then you're not going to be upset, right? So if you're paying a marketing company $300 or $500 a month, you just need to understand that you're not really paying for a high quality service. You're paying for a cheap, maybe fast service, right? Sorry, not cheap, fast. You're paying for a cheap, um, mid quality service, right? But let's say you want to have a unbelievably high quality service and you want it to happen in a week. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to launch $100,000 marketing campaign to get that done. And so once you understand the way these things work, you're not mad anymore. You just get it. That's the way our world works. Nothing's gonna change that. That's the way it is, right? So if you have any questions about what are some of the risks that I took in my journey, go ahead and feel free to drop them in the chat and I'll answer them on this live. Okay, so next question is, well, Kevin, what are the financial risks I should be willing or should be not willing to take? Okay. Well, that's different for every person, but let me tell you about my personal meter. If the financial risk doesn't put me on a path towards homelessness, that's about the meter for me. I'm okay with being broke. I'm okay with moving back in with my mom, which I did. I'm okay with people being upset at me for a couple months. I'm okay with, you know, proving people wrong. What else? I'm okay with losing friends. I'm okay with people being extorting me. I'm okay with, these are all the risks associated with being an entrepreneur, particularly a CEO, right? I'm okay with some people saying that, hey, he's not very great. He's not a good guy. He's unethical. I'm okay with that because I know who I am. I don't need other people to understand or like what I do or give me cookies or pat me on the back. I don't need that, right? So the financial risks I was willing to take reflected on your core values, right? So if you strongly value, your relationship with your family, right? And your family doesn't want you to spend that $50,000 to start your business, that's probably going to be the reason why you don't grow and start your business, right? Is because your family is holding you back, and that's just the honest truth. If you didn't have a family or a spouse or whatever, right, then it would be different, right? You could make that decision without having to get anybody else's approval or have your lifestyle adjusted. And that's just the honest truth. You know what I mean? That's just the honest truth. So you have to decide for yourself where that meter is. The bigger the risk, the greater the reward. If you're going to hire, hire a coach, for example, and you decide that, going with their $30,000, $50,000 program is going to get you to where you want to go, and you know that with 100% certainty, I was the type of person where, yeah, I spent well over that, right, to get to where I am, not only with coaches, but also on building my own business, right? So I'm more than okay at this stage, spending $10,000 in 1 month, right, if I have something I need to get done. So You got to know what your ROI is and what you're willing to risk to get the reward you're looking for. I'm very certain that I'll be exactly where I want to be 5 years from now. So I'm more than okay with spending the appropriate budget to get there, right? So if you're in the, you're watching this video, right, and you're saying, well, that all sounds nice and all, it's a lot of money. And here's the thing. You spent $20,000 on your student loan, maybe even 100, and you got nothing. You got nothing. You spent $30,000 and you didn't even become a writer or a doctor or whatever. You didn't even do that. You're on this video becoming a CEO. What do you have to lose at this point? Go get a loan. Oh, well, I don't have business credit. There's people in this group that actually do that help you get your business credit repaired. And it's not going to cost you $10,000. It's going to cost you a few thousand. Oh, that's too much money. Yeah, that's because you're not a CEO. You're not willing to take any risks at all. There are risks for this. And the better CEOs are the ones that take the bigger risks. There's no way around that. So we got to get honest with ourselves about, hey, do I want to be a CEO or do I not? And it's okay to make the decision that's best for you and your family. But don't attempt to barter vendors because of this, because that's just not the way the world works. Right? Now, if you are somebody who understands that there is risk associated with reward, and you're wondering, well, Kevin, I've been watching your lives. I'm trying to grow my business. I'm not sure where to invest my money to grow my business. Well, guess what? Today's your lucky day. So my mindset coach, Sam Becker, and I will be taking 4 students. Okay, 4 students. We're doubling their revenue in 60 days. Sorry, in 6 months. We're doubling your revenue in 6 months, guaranteed, or we will publicly go on Facebook and say that we scammed you. Okay, I put my stamp on it. So if you're somebody who wants to grow your business and you're not afraid of spending 5 figures to do so, then go ahead and shoot me a DM. I'll give you the instructions to apply to our Boss Level CEOs Mastermind, and then we'll go from there. You may or may not get accepted depending on where you're at and what you're doing, where your mindset's at. But the truth of the matter is you do need to invest a heavy 5 figures in your business. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. And that's just the truth if you want to actually scale a business the right way. You can't not invest 5 figures into your business to get to your 6-figure goal. There's no way around that. Even if you had a passive product that you were using a Facebook ad and didn't have any employees, you still would have to spend a substantial amount of Facebook ad spend to scale it. So there is no cheat code around that. There's no cheat code. And I wish somebody just would have been honest with me, man. There's no cheat code, Kev. You have to accept the risk. And at some point you'll get to this part, this level where you welcome the risk. And you maybe even like the risk, It's exciting. The challenge is exciting. So, apply now. 2 slots left, 4 slots available. Okay. 2 slots are left for our Boss Level CEOs Mastermind. And shoot me a DM, direct message if you want to apply. All right. Appreciate y'all. This has been an incredible video. Please go ahead and also let me know if you have any requests on any type of videos that you'd like me to talk about or topics, okay? All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. And the name of that song, by the way, that I was playing in the beginning is called Essence by WizKid. So look that up because it's a great song. It makes you feel better.